Okay, so what's up, everybody? We're going to talk about Fight for the Fall in 2023 edition of Dynamite for 8/16/2023. We're going to talk about the match card right now as it stacks up for All In. Now, they're not even talking about All Out. So, again, there's going to be some more matches added to this. I'm assuming they're going to add more as Collision happens this week. I'm assuming CM Punk, Samoa Joe are going to be put there. They're going to probably be the co-main event. I think there'll probably be 12 matches, I think. I think we're going to get a 12-match pay-per-view, I think. I think there's going to be 2 or 3 matches added because Tony Khan said there was going to be some surprises. So we're going to see what happens. But so far, honestly, Fight for the Fall in 2023, Dynamite Edition, 8/16/2023, it didn't really put anything in perspective for me. It's a C-average show, but it kind of cleared the air a little bit. In typical Tony Khan fashion, it's all rushed. It's just purely rushed. So, to be honest with you, to open up All In, Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher versus MJF and Adam Cole, I have Aussie Open going over here. I do not see Adam Cole and MJF winning a title belts here. That would make no sense to me. They got to have a turn here. So this is where you start your turn. And the next match, FTR, Dax Hardwood, and Cash Wheeler versus the Young Bucks. I have the Young Bucks going over here. You gotta do something to make the Elite look good here. What have they done lately? And Dax Hardwood and Cash Wheeler have held that title long enough. I think you give that to the Young Bucks at this point, and then you could start that feud with the Elite versus CM Punk FTR. I think you could start that out for All Out. Why are they going to do it at All Out? I have no idea. Or maybe they're going to set this up and brouhaha throughout the rest of this year. I don't know. Maybe they got another stadium show. But they got Stadium Grand Slam coming up, so we'll see what they do with all that. This one's tough for me, the women's match. We got Shida versus Toni Storm versus Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker. This one's hard, but I really think they're going to give it back to Toni Storm. I think Shida was a placeholder. I really think they're going to give it to Toni Storm. There's no other way of it. I just think they're just going to give that back to Toni Storm. Or they give it to Saraya for the hell of it. Saraya wins the title. They give it to her. They give her that big win that she never had at a big event in England. I could see that happening, but I think it's going to go back to Toni Storm. Sheeta's just a placeholder right now while Toni Storm is filming some scenes for an upcoming biopic movie. So they'll give that right back to her. I think they'll hot potato that title. Or they have Sheeta win, but I highly doubt that. Or they have Toni Storm win it, and then they have Jamie Hayter show up in the building. Or they have Saraya win it, and then, they start that feud off right there for all out. You know what I mean? So it could go either way for me. I do have I'm confirmed, and I may change this if I decide to call up a video later down the road of all-in predictions. But I do have Toni Storm locked in for the title. She'll become your new women's champion. She'll be like I think a 3-time champion at this point for AEW. She'll be like John Moxley-esque here. So I have her going over or Saraya, but I'm really confirmed with Toni Storm, and we do somewhat see Jamie Hayter here. Darby Allin and Sting versus the Mogul Embassy. Honestly, I see Darby Allin and Sting, and I like the fact they're giving Joker Sting here. Joker Sting is best for business. Please, please give me more Joker Sting before he retires. Please, 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 please. Throw him a title. Throw Sting a title before it's all said and done and give him Joker Sting. I would love to see Joker Sting versus literally anybody, Luchasaurus for the TNT belt, or give him Orange Cassidy. Give him something before he retires. And if he's going to do Joker Sting, man, oh man, AEW is going to be flip that bitch upside down. I'm just saying. We were talking about that the other day, Joker Sting coming back from the grave and doing Joker Sting things. I think if they do Joker Sting, this time around, I think it'll be really good. So we have the Golden Elite versus the versus Bullet Club Gold and Kateshita and with Don Callis. I honestly have the Elite going over tonight. That night, all in, I have the Elite winning everything. That's just the fact. You got to make them look strong. You got to make them bounce back. They just signed a huge deal with AEW. You have to have them win, win, win. Or you can have, then you can have Jay White win. You can have the Golden Elite with the Kadeshina win, but I have the Elite here winning. Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, and the Lucha Brothers versus Blackpool Combat Club to 3 other people he announced. Honestly, I'm going to be real with all of y'all. I have that going to Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, and Lucha Brothers. There's just no other way. You got to give it to the babyface. You got to have Bullet. You got to have the Blackpool Combat Club lose here. In my eyes, you got to give Eddie Kingston that victory and make him go over on the pay-per-view. Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. This one's tough for me because I like Chris Jericho and he's on a crossroads. Will Ospreay could take a loss. For me, I'm kind of torn. It can go to either man here, so I'm going to be split in the middle on this one. I think it could go to either or. I'd be happy either way. Now, this is the one that you guys are probably going to ask me, what's my thoughts on Adam Cole and MJF? I think Adam Cole turns on MJF. They're going to keep MJF piping hot with the babyface. And I see Adam Cole and Roddy playing the swerve here throughout the night. I see the Undisputed Kingdom coming into play. I see Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know why. Maybe Bobby Fish I see in my mind. So I see Adam Cole going over, and that'll be your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I think Adam Cole deserves it. I think MJF's time has come. Or it could be MJF turning on Adam Cole and joining the tag team match, and they make Adam Cole the babyface, and they bring in the Kingdom that way, or the Kingdom screws Adam Cole and aligns themselves with MJF. Maybe they've been in planning. Roddy becomes his new best friend, and then the whole heel faction, and MJF keeps the title. Now, these are other matches that are speculated. Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. Again, I have CM Punk going over here. I don't see CM Punk losing here. The Real World's champion. He's going to be holding this belt for a minute. When he does lose, it's got to be someone special. And I think we're going to have Kenny Omega versus CM Punk eventually. I think we're heading to that road. I think, I'm tired of hearing about all this drama back. If there was drama, why would I say the Elite go over here and Dax and Cash fight, the Elite? Why do I say the Elite win? The Elite got to look strong. So the Elite got to look strong for Dynamite, and you kind of start building that. You got a couple of weeks before Grand Slam, and you got a couple of weeks in between, that and All Out. So you kind of got to build these. You got to start building these shows like 5-star matches, and you got to build Collision like 5-star pay-per-views. So at the end of the day, I really see Kenny and Punk, and I really believe this, and I don't know why I got a feeling. I think they're swerving us. I really, really believe we're going to get Kenny and CM Punk eventually for that World Champion. And I honestly think, and this is what I think, and I think there's going to be some fuckery in that match, and I honestly believe in my mind, I think it'll just end with time running out, or it'll end with some fuckery. Because CM Punk ain't losing that Real World's champion. If they're accepting that as another championship belt and they're saying it's an actual championship represented by AEW, then they need to make another belt. And I think that's where they need to go with that. Maybe they have Samoa Joe go over. But again, I've seen so many different matches between CM Punk and Samoa Joe. I don't think, it's going to be that wow match. And some of my friends haven't seen a bunch of, they think that's going to be a wow match in itself. I just don't see Samoa Joe and CM Punk blowing the roof off of the arena or the stadium. Sorry. I just don't see it. Now, a Stadium Stampede match, that's going to be cool. That was a given. I think with with Eddie Kingston versus, I see that happening. They got to add some circus into that. I think Darby Allin and Sting could blow the roof off the building. I think so. The women, Honestly, Shida, I'm happy to see in this prominent role. But here's my thing. If you have Shida win, then you have a lot of faith in her. And I think, or you have a lot of faith in Tony Storm. Or they could give it to Saraya, and Saraya could walk out the champion of AEW. But again, like I said, what has she done for you lately, AEW? Nothing. So I think they're going to give it. I'm so torn with this one. I just really think in the Booker and me, it's going to go back to Tony Storm because that's typically what Tony Khan does. They keep it on Shida. It's a great move to keep it on Shida because why would you, to me, it's really, really, really hard for me. I'm torn. But I think it would either go to the hometown favorite, Saraya, because Saraya did fight to have this match. Supposedly, if you read all the dirt sheets out there, she wanted this match. She's getting it. She's going to be the face of this. Again, if Saraya wins, then Saraya needs to step up, honestly. And this could set up for Saraya and Jamie Hayter down the line. I'm a huge Jamie Hayter fan. Jamie Hayter's the shit. You want to put all your stock into Jamie Hayter if you're in the women's division because it's unfortunately she got really hurt. Her shoulder and I believe a rib injury and things like that. A devastating shoulder injury where I think she tore it off the bone or something like that. Something really bad. So hopefully when she comes back, she's a house on fire. I do expect a TBS championship match in this. I do expect that Chris Statlander versus probably Mercedes Carrera. In this, or you put Taya Valkyrie into that. I think that's what you do there. You're going to have probably 12 matches here. I think you're going to have 11 to 12 matches. I think you're going to have a 6 to 7 hour pay-per-view. So if you're my adult friends, get your beverages out, smoke one, roll one, because you're going to need one because this show's going to go on long. They're going to treat this like they're going to treat this like a WrestleMania-esque type show per year. I think All Out is going to be stadium shows every year. I really am believing this. And yeah. So for the first one in Europe from AEW, I'm hoping it goes well. I'm really hoping they do well and it goes well and they plan this well. You got to have CM Punk on this card. I think that's what they're going to have. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Or maybe they add Ricky Starks into that. I don't know. But it looks to me like they're going for Samoa Joe versus Punk here, which is okay to me. I don't mind seeing. I've seen a whole bunch of CM Punk and Samoa Joe matches. They could blow the roof off the building too if they choose to. Will Ospreay and Chris Jericho is interesting to me. They'll probably give it to the hometown person, Will Ospreay here. But I'm kind of torn on either side. Either one could win the match, and I'd be happy with that. Aussie Open goes over. FTR is going to lose here. I tell you, mark my words, FTR is going to lose. If they have FTR hold those belts, I'd be surprised. They got to start this feud now. Everybody wants FTR CM Punk versus the Elite. They got to pull the trigger. Too many people asking for it, and they need to stop milking what they need to milk, and they need to start doing the things that they need to start doing. Anyway, let's get into AEW Dynamite here, and let's get into this. AEW holds their annual Fight for the Fallen episode tonight in Nashville, Tennessee. International Championship, Orange Cassidy defends his title versus Wheeler Yuta. One hell of a match, though. Again, why are we doing this with Orange Cassidy every week? A roll-up, a fruit roll-up, fruit roll-up, fruit roll-up, fruit roll-up. And he needs to be losing. I said this all along. Why are we putting Jon Moxley in a Stadium Stampede match when he should be fighting for a championship? Right now, honestly, figuratively, they need to put Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for that international belt and have Orange Cassidy lose at this point. I'm so tired of Orange Cassidy holding that title. It's like, it reminds me a lot of when, who was it? Was it John Cena? Or was it, yeah, I think it was John Cena for a minute there was holding on to the United States title. And it just got repetitive. And it's becoming repetitive now about the whole thing right now with that title. I just think, he's holding on to it. Yeah, they need to move on. Even bring Wardlow back into play. It's a shame Wardlow's not on All In or All Out. They're not even talking about Wardlow. They have nothing for Wardlow, and it's sad. Nothing for Miro here. Like, that's surprising to me. Like, they need to have something for... Why is Miro not on Dynamite and fighting, or Scorpio Sky fighting for those titles? You know what I mean? They could have a triple threat live on pay-per-view instead of Orange Cassidy with the Best Friends. They could pencil that and make that into another match for either All In or All Out. You're expecting us to pay those $80 price tags for the pay, and there's no confirmation about streaming either. So is this going to be on HBO or on the Max app? Probably not. You're probably going to have to pay on BR Live, which is kind of shitty. I'm just saying. Again, Chris Jericho comes out, and Don Callis has a picture of his head on a platter. They beat the shit out of Chris Jericho. They set up the match for Aussie Open. A lot of it was laziness from Tony Khan tonight. Dr. Britt Baker does beat the Bunny in convincing fashion with a stomp to the head, 1, 2, 3. It was just nice to see Penelope Ford back. It's not, I can't say Penelope Ford and the Bunny being on TV is good for business. I think, honestly, AEW needs to do more of that, feature more of their women. It's kind of sad that they don't. So, Orange Cassidy defeats Wheeler Yuta to retain the international title. Again, I did not like this match. Wheeler Yuta's good shit, but he should not be losing here. I think Wheeler Yuta should have went over here and won the title. I don't think, Orange Cassidy should be winning in these easy fruit roll-up titles. Yes, he can have these 5-star matches, yes, on television, yes. But, again, you're just putting Orange Cassidy out there to put Orange Cassidy out there, and it's like, to me, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? It's like, let's have him lose the title at this point. And then they have Eddie Kingston come out, and then there was a whole brawl, and then they set up for Stadium Stampede in London. Great. JR interviews Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega says he knows Don Callis. He's my uncle. He helped me with vials of vitamins. He got me to where I needed to be to get medals and stuff throughout all wrestling. Here we are. He turned on me, and he's got like the dollar store general version of him. Younger version, Kateshita. Then Don Callis comes out, and then they beat the shit out of Kenny Omega, and that ends that segment. Again, and then Adam Page, he was backstage at the stadium, basically not at a hospital, and basically they filmed a vignette of him drinking a beer, and they're telling him you can't drink in front of a hospital. So he drinks it down, he power drinks it, hands it down, and says, Adam Page, Kota Ibushi, and Kenny versus Don Callis and the Golden Elite, the Golden, the Golden Bullet Club or whatever. So Juice Robinson and Jay White at London. So that's cool there. Chris Jericho answers Don Callis in the arena. They have a thing. Wants to know what the picture is. Don Callis didn't think yes. And then pretty much, Will Ospreay comes out, takes the chair, and I don't know if it conveyed in the camera, but AEW is allowing headshots with the fucking steel chairs. Like, for one, I thought Chris Jericho got hit in the head. Like, he went up with the X trying to hold, but it looked like he got hit in the head. Like, you can hear it. I don't know, like, I just don't know if they're allowing, like, uncontested chair shots like that. But when I looked at it, it was kind of devastating. I personally thought that we're not doing that anymore. I thought that was outlawed in most wrestling industries. You can't hit in the head. So it looked like he was going up for the X like this. If you see me on my webcam doing this, it looked like that he went like that, and he still got hit and fucked up. So hopefully Jericho's okay and there's no concussions there. But it looked like he was safe. And they did it twice. And then Sammy Guevara came out and saved the day. I don't know. Is the JES going to reunite at London and help him after all the shit? I think that's what they're going for. I don't think Chris Jericho's ready to give up the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think they'll rework that into some type of thing. Darby Allin and Nick Wayne, defeats the Gates of Agony in 6 minutes. Most of these matches were like 6 minutes. They were going quick with this, 6 minutes. And then the Mogul Embassy, came out and They were going to beat the shit out of him, and then Sting on the Tenatron basically doing Joker Sting things, which was cool. So, again, as I said, tonight they kind of rushed it. They have to at this point. Set up for All In. And then you had Jack Perry, basically Jungle Boy, formerly known as Jungle Boy, coming out and basically saying next week on Dynamite, the go-home show to All In, which we all know it's going to be a match, him and Hook at All In, as a pre-show match or as somewhat in the middle. And it better blow off the roof off the building. So that's, like I said, there's probably going to be 12 matches, and I'm assuming one of those is going to be before that title gets retired. And we all know Hook's going to go over here. Jungle Boy does not need the FTW champion. He needs like an international champion. Keep the heel persona. Have him beat Orange Cassidy. Or have him go against Luchasaurus. Well, you don't want to do that because he's a heel too. So you would want him to go for the international belt. And then, again, Adam Cole, MJF, then arrived in the arena in a fancy sports car. They pretty much had vignettes through the night. They're best friends. Nothing's going to separate them apart. They were looking at kangaroos, things like that. Again, like I said before, I could give two shits about all this. I think this is all just gimmick stuff. I really think it's going to go two ways. Either MJF is going to turn on Adam Cole in that tag team match, or Adam Cole turning on. I think we're just being roosted here. Or we get to that title match and then he pulls up the contract and says, well, sorry, pal. And something dramatic happens. I think we see Goldberg at all In. I really think. I think we see Goldberg. I think we see Goldberg in that coffin match. I really believe this. I think Goldberg comes out and spears the shit out of Sting, and we start that Sting and Goldberg thing that they were going to do internationally during Bill Goldberg's send-off. I think Goldberg signs a major deal with AEW. I don't think he's done yet. I think it's all been smoke and mirrors this whole time. Why is Goldberg not talked? Why is Sting going back to Joker Sting? I think we're going to see something by All Out, Grand Slam, and Dynamite's going forward. I think Bill Goldberg shows up. And I may be wrong about that, but, people are going to say, well, Goldberg's unsafe. Goldberg is this, that, and the third. He's past his prime. Yeah, he is. But again, Goldberg can help people like Wardlow. He can help people like Cage when Cage comes back off that devastating injury. Supposedly, Cage was supposed to be on the All-In pay-per-view. And they were supposed to defend that 6-man Ring of Honor. It's supposed to be a bunch of shows coming together. So it looks like it's going to be Ring of Honor and AEW present, All In, what it looks like to me. So we're going to see. Jeff Jarrett defeats Jeff Hardy in a Texas Chainsaw. This was a throwaway match, honestly. Jeff Hardy looked good, though. Jeff Hardy looks like he's improving. It looks like the ring rust is coming off. Give him some time. And then they showed a stat. So Jeff Hardy could go definitely after an international belt or tag team belt eventually. He looked good tonight. He didn't look out of shape. He didn't look like he was training a little bit. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy look like they've been doing some work in the gym. So it looks like Jeff Hardy wants to have a go, and he said it himself. So it looks like Jeff Hardy's determined. It's just sad to see that he's banned from going to any countries for a while. So we'll see Jeff Hardy probably at All Out. So I'm excited about that. Dr. Britt Baker beats the Bunny. We're not surprised. The Acclaim versus two enhancement talents never happened because, House of Black beats the shit out of them and pretty much takes the boots and whatnot, which is setting up for probably All Out where we get to see what Billy Gunn. I think Billy Gunn turns on the Acclaim and goes with the House of Black. I really think. I don't know. Maybe lines up with his sons. I don't know. The Bucks defeat the Gun Club. I didn't care about this. And then it's set up for a beatdown and then FTR saving their ass, and that was the show. Honestly, I agree with reading the match card here and reading the results. I do agree with the consensus. It felt like the show kind of fell apart after the Jeff Jarrett, but the first hour had a great couple of angles, some big matches for All In. Callis and Jericho angle was great. Yeah, I agree with that. So I agree with the review here of the, I'm not going to mention the review, but I do agree with that the one I'm reading the match card on and stuff like that, because I didn't write notes for this. Yeah, honestly, flat out, this show is a C average. Like the first hour was good. The back half was fucking awful. And it didn't really, it just felt like Tony Khan was rushing to put on, he's trying to rush to put on this major card. And I'm surprised he's not tapping into New Japan. I'm surprised he's not working with AAA here. You got Van Kingo sitting there, Gravity. You got all these people on Ring of Honor that could put on a one hell of a 0 hour. You got Athena. What are they doing with Athena? Is she going to be fighting the Ring of Honor? We're going to find out. There's got to be more matches here. I'd be surprised. I'm surprised they're not having some of that Ring of Honor over on All Out. All Out's supposed to be a multi-promotion thing, as what Tony Khan said, and to me, it just feels like there's more matches to come. There's only 8 so far, and I think, honestly, my personal opinion is I think this is going to be a 7-hour pay-per-view. I'm believing it. I think they start this mid-afternoon UK time, close, I would say about 1-ish, and this goes on until about 10 o'clock their time. I'm starting to believe this. I think time we get the main event going, UK time, I think it'll be 10 or 11 their time at night. I really think this is going to be a 7 to 8 hour show. I really believe that. Honestly, I would have been okay if they did it back-to-back nights. You know what I mean? Did night 1 and night 2. But they're going to be doing a 7 to 8 hour pay-per-view, and I'm going to be sitting here with my friends watching every single bit of it in a watch-along. But, like I said, man, I'm going to say these pay-per-views don't need to be that long. I think they could do 2 nights. They could do Saturday night, and they could do Sunday. I don't know why they are not doing that. I just, to me, too much wrestling at once burns people out. And it's not even including, we got Payback coming up next. We got a lot of these pay-per-views coming up next. It's going to be pay-per-view, 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 Grand Slam. It's just so much big shows at once and so much to pay attention to. So All In looks okay on paper to me. They're going to probably add Samoa Joe and CM Punk to that. They're probably going to add a Ring of Honor women's title match to that. They're probably going to add something on that of the range. Or that'll be saved for All Out. I highly doubt it. They're going to put something with RVD there. The rumors and speculation is RVD is going to be on that. I see Goldberg here. I don't know why in my mind I see Goldberg, or I see a big WWE entity jumping over to being at All In. I see some debuts happening. Don't know why. Tony Khan's all about spectacles, right? I see some major shit happening. I don't know why, to fill in the gaps for rushing the card. I feel like they're going to do something. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The last 3 pay-per-views from Tony Khan, there has not been any special wow me yet. And AEW is all about the wow me. So we're going to see. Anyway, these are just my thoughts. We are 9 days away from All In, and we're literally 3 weeks away or 2 weeks away from All Out. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. I'm kind of fascinated to see what Tony Khan's going to do with Collision, how many more matches are going to be added in, what Ring of Honor matches are going to be added in. So far, the only one is the tag team belts. I see the women's belt for the 0 hour. I see a lot of things happening. Anyway, my name is Rev Sauce TV here on my wrestling and sporting channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. I'll see you. Literally, no joke, I'm giving this a C average. Hopefully the go-home show's better. And I see Hook, and I see Jungle Boy or Jack Perry at All In. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.